Hey, it's Anthony Meisner with Land Title. Came to bring you your greater Denver Metro update for First to Know. If we kind of look at things, it's looking like December really showed a little bit of settling in the market. And, as we had really stepped up there for September, October, and November on our sales price, we're settled just a little below where we were a year ago, minus 1.9% at $743,000. The median down 1.3%. Same thing, just a little bit of settling there. Now, if we look at the condo townhouse market, clearly all year long we've seen lower sales prices, and this has happened for about 3 straight years in a row now, and we're showing that 1.7% drop. But realistically, we're looking at a pretty major step off each year. So keep your eyes on this, but as the market starts to turn, and maybe some of this is going to create a little bit more affordability in this marketplace since HOAs went up so much, well, hopefully we can start to see this turn around soon. But it's hard to say what's going to happen in 2026. So take a look at this. The median shows 0, but obviously 2024 had maybe the worst month in December, where we didn't see that this year. So obviously watch. Now, if we look at it by price per square foot, this tells you a lot of the same story. Really, 3.8% drop in the average sales price, or the average price per square foot in single family, tells you how much the market settled in the latter half of the year there. And if you look at the condo townhouse market, just like I said, really just a step down all year from where we were a year ago. So we really have seen price compression in that marketplace very specifically. Now, supply is the main reason, right? Look at this, active units on the marketplace, the same 7,000 units we had a year ago. Clearly different houses, but cannot believe after this roller coaster of a year with so much inventory that we're right back to where we were. So many frustrated people have been pulling homes off the market for about 6 consecutive months. Now, there's no way that with the new listings as hot as they were, right? Way more new listings early in the year. And then it looks like the latter half of the year was very similar to a year ago. Same thing again, we saw basically very similar numbers, down 6% new listings. Sellers are not listing in December this year, but the supply numbers were still high. So as we saw stuff expire off, it wasn't because of home buyers buying them, right? Keep that number in mind, 1651, and we had 2,000 under contracts. December was the first month that was flipped all year long. So normally we'd have more listings coming on, and that's what creates that inventory rise. December was the only month of the year where it was the other way, which good news is buyers, because of, interest rates being in a better place and everything else that kind of happened toward the end of the year, confidence is coming back a little bit. You could start to see that under contracts and pendings really have been almost identical to the previous year in so many ways. But 2,000 homes under contract as we get into a January where buyers start to come back to market and look at stuff. A lot of times they really don't put anything under contract, more so until February. But the good news is if buyer trends persist with lower interest rates, there are bound to be more buyers in the marketplace this year. But sellers, so many more sellers than buyers still. So I think that's the biggest takeaway, more sellers than buyers going into 2026. But the month supply of inventory is back to 2.1 to start. So as we start to see those sellers ramp up, buyers will hopefully ramp up too, and expect more of what you saw a year ago, right? Lots of inventory coming on early. Sellers be frustrated unless interest rates get significantly better, which they're not really predicted to do. They're predicted to be fairly flat most of the year, but who knows with the new Fed chair coming in, what's going to happen there. Now, what does the market feel like, right? Market activity is, as a buyer or a seller, what's happening. Now, it's taken about 10 days longer to go under contract than it did this time last year, but we've seen that all year long. So slower time to market. And then the percentage list of sale price significantly lower all year long. So buyers are more favored in this market than they were a year ago. 1% drop in this is actually really, really quite a bit, especially when we've been looking at it all year. This doesn't include concessions or price drops, but what you can see here is just that change over time, which is helpful. So your sellers understand as they're coming to market, they really do have to do all those things to get top dollar, and they should expect concessions on top of it because 65% of deals last month had concessions tied to them again. All right. If you have any other questions, concerns, reach out to me. Always happy to share more data with you. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'll see you next time.